Well, the Hillbilly Homestead is maybe moving up in the world a little bit. Uh, we recently acquired a plasma cutter, and so we're going to look it over and see how it does, and just check it out and let y'all see what you think about it. Let's move up here and take a little closer look at it. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Hynade brand. Uh, it's a budget plasma cutter. Uh, from got it off Amazon. I think it was like $189, something like that. Uh, it probably wouldn't hold up in a shop setting that's getting used all the time, all day, every day. It probably wouldn't last very long. No more than what we'll be using it here on the Hillbilly Homestead. It ought to be great. Uh, so it's got I think it's a 9 foot, uh, the cutting lead on it. The ground lead I think is like 4 foot. It's kind of short. Uh, First thing on it is it's not a touchless. It's a touch. So you have to touch it to the metal to get it started. Uh, that doesn't seem like that's going to be an issue for me. It may be for some, but it's no problem for me. There is a way around that. Uh, you can you can uh, twist a wire around your tip and run it back under your hand where you can hold it, and run it over and clip it to your ground, and and then it'll, you don't then it's a touchless. But I'm not going to fool with that. It's probably not, because it doesn't seem to be an issue for me. It is it's a dual power or dual voltage. It's a 115 or 230. Uh, the cool thing about that is it is it's auto sensing. It has just a regular 110 plug, but it's got this adapter. This 220 or 230, whatever you want to call it, adapter. Uh, I don't recall how many amp this style plug is. This is the same plug that my Lincoln cracker box welder takes. So that's cool, because I have a extension cord for it built. So anyway, you plug it into 110, and it automatically senses it's 110, and that's what it runs on. You plug it into here, plug it into your 220, and it automatically senses here, uh, that it's 220. You don't have to switch anything. You don't have to worry about frying it or anything. I will say that this adapter could be problematic. If you plug your angle grinder into this with it plugged into 220, you're probably going to blow it out of your hands and fry it right quick. So this thing, to me, could be a liability issue for the manufacturer. Maybe not. I I only on probably only going to run it on 220, so I just keep it plugged in all the time. So anyway, so it's auto sensing on the voltage. Uh, this is your amperage knob. You'll see when I cut some 3/8, just 3/8 mild steel, and I ran it on. I believe it was 45 amps and 50 psi of air, and then I made a couple of cuts on a barrel lid. That wasn't not a barrel lid. It was a cut out end of a barrel. It's pretty thin. I didn't measure it, but it's very thin. And I had it turned down to like 30 amps, I believe it was, which is probably too much. And I think I backed off on the air a little bit. I may not have. I might have left the air on 50, and it literally cut through it like butter. And so, and then this one over here is your what do they call it, post time. And if you like me, you're not familiar with plasma cutters at all, what that does is when you make a cut and you release the trigger, it blows air for so many seconds to cool your tip down. And from what I understand, that's keeping that tip cool is the life of your tip and stuff. And of course, all of this they consider them to be consumables, and they're only going to last so long anyway, and then you're going to have to replace them. So I keep it turned way down on the lower end, which is probably 15 seconds of blowing, which I'm running on a little pancake air compressor. So and also when I pull it off the metal and it's blowing, I let it blow against my hand, and it's like it's cool. So that I set that real low so far. This is your ground plug. This is your hot end, your cutter end, and it's got an air hose, and it's got a electric line running through it, and that's all there is to that. I don't think I'm missing anything on the front. On the back, this particular model came with a little air regulator and a little water catcher. Of course, you have to mount it and hook it up. From what I've read, water in line is a big issue for a plasma cutter. Like I said, I'm not a welder. I'm a dauber, and so I'm new to this whole plasma cutting thing. I'm probably going to add another one at my air compressor, and just a water catcher, just to help try to keep the moisture out of the line. I don't know how long the little regulator will last. It's I mean, if it don't, well, I'll put another one on it. So anyway, that's I believe that's about everything to it. It's a 50 amp max is a max it'll run out. Oh, it has a little LED display here for you to set your when you set your amperage. It tells you what it is, so the little dial doesn't have anything on it. You just read your little thing and just roll it up to whatever amps you think you need, and you're ready to go. And for a budget plasma cutter, it seems to do pretty good. Oh, I was going to take the tip off. It's just a little ceramic ring, and that's all there is to it. And like I said, I'm new to plasma cutters. I'm learning as I go here, and this seems like a very good one to learn with. So that's our newest tool here on the Hillbilly Homestead, plasma cutter. We're moving on up. Anyway, if you found this informative or entertaining or whatever, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.